early in your career.
The fire range has got to go. Hey, hey. Woo-hoo. The fire range has got to go. Hey, hey. Woo-hoo. The fire range has got to go. Hey, hey. Woo-hoo. The fire range has got to go. Hey, hey. Woo-hoo. The fire range has got to go.
Gain from doing what you did tonight?
What I gained is
President Obama to come to Guam.
You can see pictures.
Come to Guam, President Obama.
To actually see it and experience it.
Come to Guam.
You can't really go back and report what it's like. So this has given me an opportunity to get a lot more information than I could have from any of the tour books, any of the reports I've read.
Hold on, right here, this is the one. Yeah. So I probably want a cigarette after that too.
Would you like one?
No, but I don't smoke, so unfortunately.
Stay that way, it's healthy.
It sounds like the first-hand information you're able to gain from that experience will be a valuable supplement to everything you've read and seen and been told. Now when people come and talk to you about Pagat, you'll know firsthand what they're talking about.
It was the same way when we were on Guam in March. We had a chance, or I had the chance to go up to the wildlife refuge, go down to several of the parks, go visit the water treatment facilities, see the tanks. So when you have an opportunity to actually see those things, you know, you hear about Zero Down, but until you drive through there and you see the families and the way they live and the kids, you don't really get an appreciation for what it's like until you've seen it. And that's why I think it's important in our job that we have the opportunity to send somebody out to actually experience it and then be able to report back.
Can I ask your response to these 250 people who've been waiting for you to come out?
My response is, I'm grateful that they're here because they let me know how they feel. A lot of times when you have something as big as this going on, a lot of people feel that they haven't had a chance to be heard. And if they want to take the opportunity and take the time out of their day to come down here and let me know how they feel, I totally respect that. And that's why I don't mind talking with you all. And I'll be talking with this gentleman who wanted to have a chance to say a few things.
All the way to the shore? Yeah. Did you go in a cave? Yeah. See any loosons? Yeah. Sounds like you got the whole thing there.
You know, if you're going to take the time to do something like this, you may as well take the time to see it all. Otherwise, I've been blessed in my job that I do have the opportunity to take time to do things like this.
Why was Mrs. Sutley not able to?
You got to keep in mind, number one, it's very rare that the chair of the Council on Environmental Quality will actually go to.
We got her twice.
You got her twice. And I'm not saying that to say, you know, yay for that, but it's a good indication that this particular project has gotten her attention and it's gotten the attention of a lot of the senior leadership in Washington, D.C. And so for that reason, for her to come out here, that was something that she wanted to do so that she could talk to the people. You know, on this visit, we had an opportunity to meet with the governor's office, the lieutenant governor, the legislature, the mayors. We met with the regulatory agencies, and then we had the forum with the people. And I know that I got here early and had a chance to speak to a lot of the folks. And a lot of them were frustrated because we only had a couple of hours there today. But, you know, it's unfortunate. The good news is that they promised to give us copies of all of the questions that we didn't have a chance.
Troy.
When you have a situation like that, it's extremely difficult to get around to talk to everyone, especially when you have 4 or 5 questions on the same topic.
I heard from the moderator that there were basically about 65 more that weren't gotten.
And how many of those were different from what we heard or other things, we'll find out when we see them.
How many of them have 6 questions on one card?
How do you get it?
But you know you have a long title when you have to kneel down twice to write it.
Yeah, well, you know.
Thank you very much for all the information.
One of the gentlemen that I was talking to before I came down here, you know, he said, you got 10,000 comments. What good is any of that? Well, I've read them. I couldn't recite them to you, but I had a chance to read them and begin to get a sense of what the issues were. And that was one of the reasons why over the course of about 6 months, I regularly have calls with a lot of the resource agencies down here in Guam, because although they were talking to the regional representatives from the other federal agencies, I still wanted to touch base with them and get a sense of, are we talking about the right issues? Are we addressing the things that the people on Guam really care about? Doesn't mean that what NOAA thinks is important might not be important here, but I wanted to make sure that we're both telling us the same thing, and if they weren't, then maybe there were more things we had to take a look at.
The information you've gathered today from these protesters, I imagine, can be used much in the same way as those 10,000 comments, which, much like...
Now, when I take a look at the plans and the proposed action for the firing ranges, I can put it into perspective. You know, it's one thing to see it on a map and see lines and dots and things like that, but until you've actually been there and had an opportunity to talk to people like Pope Cristobal, pointing out the plants in the area that are collected. Is it the Ricardo Cepeda who has the Lamada down there, where he has the lemons and he has that area? Yeah, kind of beautiful. Horst.
And you're Steven.
Steve.
Yeah. I just want to ask, first of all, bottom question is, will this become a firing range? Is this eventually going to become a firing range?
It could. Okay, let me explain a couple of things. When they decide to go forward with the relocation, that decision hasn't been made. That's one of the decisions they're going to have to make when it's time to sign the record of decision. I know I'm talking like a bureaucrat, but there's a process that they go through. You've seen the draft EIS. Now they're coming out with the final EIS. There's a review period after that, and then they're estimating around the 10th of September they're going to sign a record of decision. And that record of decision is going to say either yes, we're going ahead, or no, we're not. And if we are, when I say we, I mean the federal agencies, including the Navy, JIGPO, DOD. And if they do go forward, they have to describe how they're going to do that. So a lot of people said, well, if it's the preferred alternative, it's already a done deal.
Yeah.
That's not the case. It may well be, because it's their responsibility to let you and the other people know what are they thinking.
So
right now, their preferred place for putting in the ranges is on Route 15. And the question is exactly how are they going to position them, and what effect might they have on the Pagat area and the access to that?
Because I know that we, the military, the U.S. and Guam, we have to have this harmony between us, and so
you're going to be neighbors if they come here. So you got to be neighbors.
So taking away, if this happens, Pagat, a historical landmark, you think there'd be a culture clash in some way?
I think there are going to be some people. I think there are going to be some people who are going to be really upset. Give me 1 minute, because I want to put on my other glasses so I can see something.
I'm trying to find out if he sees that this can cause an eruption. You know, they do get the final say in the island, but I think they're considering, preserving it.